Hello viewers, this is Anuradha Chaudhary, fitness and wellness expert from Kolkata. Today we are here for discussing the role of vitamin B12 in health and disease. As we all know, vitamin B12 is an important water-soluble vitamin and plays important role in production of RBC and DNA. It also required for proper functioning of our nervous system. For that, we have Dr. Sudhir Kumar, consultant neurologist, Apollo Hospital, Hyderabad. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you, Anuradha, and welcome all the viewers. And today we are here to discuss about vitamin B12 and its deficiency, why it can happen, and how we can diagnose and treat. And why we chose vitamin B12 is that it is one of the commonest deficiencies that we encounter in our clinical practice, other than vitamin D deficiency, which we'll take it up in one of the other further sessions. So today we are going to focus on vitamin B12, and then so let us go through it. I think we'll have a short session, and I hope you all will watch this, enjoy this, and learn also something from this.
Doctor, my first question is, what are the common problems caused by vitamin B12 deficiency?
So vitamin B12 deficiency is required by almost all body parts, but it is more important for our nervous system, skin, and blood. So in the nervous system, if you look at, it can affect multiple parts of nervous system, right from brain, optic nerve, spinal cord, and the nerves. If it affects the brain, then people can have memory impairment, forgetfulness, sometimes imbalance while walking. When the optic nerves, they are the vision nerves, when they get affected, people can have impaired vision and sometimes loss of vision also. And spinal cord involvement can lead to, again, weakness of hands and legs. And if the nerves get affected, the nerves in the skin of the feet and hands, they can have tingling or what is called pins and needle sensation, and also they can feel numbness. So when they walk, they cannot perceive the sensation from the ground. And then if it is affecting skin, there can be pigmentation of the knuckles. So these areas, there can be dark pigmentation on the tongue and also inside the mouth, inside the cheeks. So if one notices any of these things, one should suspect B12 deficiency. And in the blood, common things is anemia. We know that anemia is mostly due to deficiency of iron, but we should not forget that even vitamin B12 deficiency can also lead to anemia, and which can lead to fatigue, tiredness, and weakness.
Doctor, who are more prone to develop vitamin B12 deficiency?
As I think you'll be telling us further about the sources of B12. So we know that B12 is mainly found in the non-vegetarian food. So people who are purely vegetarian, they have a slightly higher risk of getting B12 deficiency. And then also the B12 has to be absorbed. So even if somebody takes adequate amounts, but due to some reason, if absorption is inadequate, that can happen if somebody has undergone major surgeries of the gut, like bariatric surgery to lose weight. And then sometimes, if somebody has cancer of the colon or the gut, then large parts of intestine can be removed. Then such people after surgery, they can have impaired absorption of B12. Then there's a condition called malabsorption, where multiple nutrients don't get absorbed, like including protein, fat, and also vitamins, vitamin B12. Again, they can have this B12 deficiency. And so I think since we are on this topic, Anu, I would like to know from you, what are the best sources of vitamin B12 and how much B12 do we need per day?
Actually, doctor, vitamin B12 is naturally found in animal products like fish, meat, poultry, egg, milk, and milk product. It is generally not present in plant food. Uh, but for vegetarian, we have option of fortified food cereals, other that are added with vitamin B12, nutritional yeast, certain mushrooms, and some algae like nori, which is generally consumed in the Asian countries. Intake of vitamin B12 depends on your age, lifestyle, and specific situations. I will show you one chart how much vitamin B12 is required on average daily intake.
Yeah, sure. I think that will be good if we can see it on the screen for different ages, how much of B12 is required. Yes, I think we can see your screen now. So, right.
Can you see, doctor?
Yes, it's clearly visible now.
This is recommended dietary allowance, that is RDA, of vitamin B12. For infants from 0 to 6 months, 0.4 micrograms is required in a day. For children from infants from 7 to 12 months, it is, sorry, let me play it again. Okay, for infants from 7 to 12 months, it is 0.5 micrograms in a day. For children between 1 to 3 years, it is 0.9 micrograms. For children between 4 to 8 years, it is 1.2, it is 1.2 micrograms. For children between 9 to 13 years, it is 1.8 micrograms. For all the people above 14 years, it is 2.4 micrograms. And in specific condition like pregnant woman, it is 2.6 micrograms. And for lactating mother, it is 2.8 micrograms. One more thing I want to add, that only 10% of vitamin B12 is absorbed by our body. So whatever we are taking on average daily basis, we have to intake 10 times more of that vitamin B12.
Yes, so I think what you mean is that if we require 2.5 or 2.4 micrograms, we have to consume 24 micrograms because only about
24
10%
micrograms.
will get absorbed. And I think, as you mentioned, that most of the sources of B12 are non-vegetarian, but in our country and also across the world, there are many pure vegetarians, also vegans. So, what would you recommend, for such people to get their vitamin B12 from?
Easy sources for vegetarian are milk, curd, cheese and other milk products. Fortified cereals with added vitamin B12 is again a good option. Nutritional yeast, some mushroom and algae like nori, which is consumed in Asian countries. Again, for vegans, those who do not depend on animal products, fortified cereals, mushroom and algae are the best options.
Yeah, so I think we can go to the next point.
Yeah. Doctor, when do we suspect that someone could be suffering from vitamin B12 deficiency?
Yes, I think it is important for us to, suspect that somebody could be having vitamin B12 deficiency because only then the person can go for diagnosis and treatment. So some of the common early symptoms could be just mild tingling or pins and needle sensation. So when somebody walks bare feet on the ground and they feel that it's like, like sui chubne jaisa lag raha hai, something pricking in their feet, that could be the earliest symptom. Or sometimes they say it is like burning sensation. It's jalan ho rahi hai, so paw mein jalan ho rahi hai. So such symptoms are early symptoms, and then it can lead to numbness also. So when they stand on the ground, they cannot feel the sensation, especially what we call as wash basin sign. So when they get up in the morning and wash their face, when the eyes are closed, that time the person can lose balance. So these are some of the early symptoms. Later on, person can have involvement of brain, so they can have forgetfulness. So whatever they could remember earlier, now they feel that the memory is not as sharp, and that could be also one of the early symptoms of B12 deficiency. Of course, as I mentioned, weakness of the hands and legs or unexplained anemia. Somebody is eating adequately, but hemoglobin keeps on dropping. We have to suspect vitamin B12 deficiency. And also, I mentioned if somebody in our country all are obsessed about fair color of the skin. So what if the darkness happens only in specific areas like knuckles or or the tongue or the inside the mouth, then it could be a sign of B12 deficiency, and that's the time the person should consult a doctor and get tested.
Doctor, how is the diagnosis of vitamin B12 deficiency confirmed?
So it is again quite easy. So whenever somebody has these symptoms and meets a doctor, or even if they're not able to meet the doctor, it can be tested in a blood test. So simple blood test can give us the value, and normally more than 211 is taken as normal. So if it is deficiency, we'll get a value of 200 or 150. Sometimes we get even very low value of 75 like that. So blood test can confirm it. And if somebody is, thinks that he's taking adequately, still B12 is low. In such patients, we have blood tests to check antibodies, which can prevent absorption of the vitamin B12. So somebody who takes adequate amounts still has low vitamin B12, and then we have to check that. So with blood tests, we can easily make the diagnosis.
Now, doctor, how do you treat patient with vitamin B12 deficiency?
So treatment also is straightforward. Unfortunately, people don't get diagnosed, so they don't get treated, and they suffer for several months to years. So once we know that someone has low vitamin B12, we can look at the diet. You already mentioned what are the good sources of B12. So they should take more non-veg. But those who can't take non-veg due to their personal, choices, Then, as Anu has already mentioned, that there are many good sources in vegetarian food also. So one is to improve the diet, but sometimes if deficiency is severe, then diet alone may not be enough, and then we have to supplement with tablets. We have tablets of B12, injections are there, and now we have dispersible strips are there. You just put on the tongue, it just melts on the tongue. We have nasal sprays are there. So there are different routes of administration depending on the likes and dislikes and the patient's choices. We can choose one of them. If deficiency is severe, we recommend injections for initial period of say 4 to 6 weeks, and then we can follow it up with tablets. And one thing is that treatment should be started early, because especially with the nervous system, if we allow the deficiency to persist for several months or years, then even after treatment, complete recovery doesn't happen. But if treatment is started early, recovery can be complete also.
Doctor, what would be your take-home message for our viewers?
That's, I think, the most important part, because we discussed many things. So, main thing I would like to highlight is that vitamin B12 deficiency is common. It is not. It is underreported, underdiagnosed, because people don't. People feel that no, fine, it's all right to forget. Have some little bit of forgetfulness. If I have some tingling, maybe during sleep my feet got compressed under the body or somewhere, so I'm having tingling. But no, if any symptoms come, which I already described, one should suspect B12 deficiency, get the blood test done for vitamin B12. And if it is low, then meet a doctor, because treatment is easy. Most people suffer because it is not diagnosed and treatment is not started on time. If you start treatment on time, then 80 to 90% people recover completely, and others will have good recovery with very minor symptoms. So I think with these few words, I'm sure that you learned quite a lot or about vitamin B12 sources, what symptoms can happen because of B12 deficiency, and how it can be easily diagnosed and treated. So, and I know, would you like to add something for our
Yeah,
viewers?
thank you, viewers, for watching our video. If you really like it, please do subscribe us so that we can again come up with some information videos to you. Thank you, viewers.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
doctor.
Yeah, thank you.